Oh, hi. Oh, sorry. Hi, how you doing over there? Hey, camera. How you doing? Catcha. Anyway, welcome to another, video on the Everything's Terrible channel. And this one is another bombshell. Yeah, as you can see, I'm reporting from my kitchen. I'm baking cookies for the apocalypse because, the kitchen is where a woman truly belongs. Anyway, I know you all were expecting that the next Bombshells was going to be my big expose on the John Lennon is dead conspiracy. See, apparently, one of the Beatles died and was replaced by a lookalike. And if you look really hard, you can find all the clues in the songs and everything. It's quite amazing. But anyway, as you can see, current events have kind of taken precedence and sort of, have compelled me to make the following public service announcement to keep your family safe from the pandemic of epidemic proportions that's currently sweeping the country. Why, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Trump Derangement Syndrome. What is Trump Derangement Syndrome? Well, I'm glad you asked. Trump Derangement Syndrome, otherwise known as TDS, is a thing that somebody gets when they've seen enough Trump footage and words and speeches that they just go crazy and they just launch themselves into a tirade of absolute bitter frothing like rabies in the mouth thing. Oh my God, it's a terrible disease. Anyway, this disease is not just limited to liberal granola eating Birkenstock wearing hippies. Oh, no. You can catch it too. Anyway, you would think, okay, well, I'm not going to catch Trump Derangement Syndrome. I'm not one of those liberal snowtards and, lip flakes. Well, unfortunately, it is contagious. It's very, very contagious. There is no cure for TDS. But if you follow the simple 5-letter rule that I will spell out for you all here, you can keep you, your family, your loved ones, your dog, and people maybe you don't care so much about, but you can keep them all safe from catching TDS. And we can all flatten the curve just like the Duke boys. Because there's a graph and you want to flatten the thing on the graph with numbers on it. Anyway, enough about that. If you suspect that you're within the proximity of someone with TDS and you don't want to catch it, because you don't want to catch it, follow the following 5 letters to keep yourself safe. First one, C. C is for cover your ears. TDS enters the body through the ears and then latches onto the brain. So you want to make sure that you take a couple of N95 masks and squitch them up really, really, really good and stick them in your ears. So that way when someone says something critical of the president, all you can see is and that way it can't possibly get in and change your mind about anything. Problem solved. That's the very first line of defense. Even better though, you can cover your ears whenever even the president says anything, because you don't want to catch anything that he says that may even change your mind, because you can kind of catch it from the president himself. That's how prevalent this disease is. And the people who have a problem with what he says and does, it's like, do they think that the cameras are on and recording and that everything he says or does and all of the mad steps he takes aren't recorded for posterity? Well, they're not. There you go. Do they think that every tweet that he's written is on some server somewhere? Speaking of servers, where are Hillary's servers now? Yeah. Well, despite your best efforts, you have come face to face with someone who's infected with TDS. What are you going to do? Well, slow down, Nelly there, tell them that they are overreacting. Oh. While you secretly stock up on Charmin and deep down inside you have zero faith in humanity because you know there's going to be a race war, well, you can just tell them that they're overreacting. Everything's going to go back to normal by Easter. Well, everything's going to go back to normal in a couple of weeks. There's 250,000 cases of what? 250, that's just a number on a piece of paper. It only has a 2% death rate. And why is everything coming to a screeching halt over just a bad flu? And besides, 200-something thousand cases. I'm not just a bunch of numbers. Let's do it. Let's go to spring break. And sleep's not like anyone else could catch it. So that's not what's different, I guess. And besides, 200-something thousand cases overacting about these little things that are somehow get it in my body. I've never seen any of those things in my body. So I think I'm fine. Thirdly, V for wash. Wash your hands. Just like, Dracula says, wash your hands. And when you're washing your hands, wash your brain too. How do you wash your brain? Consume only media that paints Trump in a good light. Hey, look at this scientific poll that Lou Dobbs did.
Be sure to vote in our poll tonight. How would you grade President Trump's leadership in the nation's fight against the Wuhan Chinese virus? Superb, great, or very good?
Who in their right mind would just say very good? Great is Trump's favorite word. It's on the MAGA things, right? So the right answer to that poll is great. The answer is always great. You have covered your ears, right? You've also told the libtards that they're just overreacting, and you've washed your brain. Well, what's the next step? Well, of course, to I. I is for isolate yourself. Surround yourself with conspiracy theories that tell of the coronavirus just being a Chinese plot to keep Americans from going out and buying goods made in China. Yeah. Sorry, President 11 of China. We're not going to fall for that. Check and touchdown. Lastly, unfortunately, it's happened. You've done everything to keep yourself from catching Trump derangement syndrome. Unfortunately, it's cornered you down and it's got you. You're starting to doubt the president. You're actually starting to think, maybe we should throw Trump under the bus. But if we throw Trump under the bus, who's going to be driving the bus? Then no one will be driving the bus, and then we'll totally be in chaos, right? But anyway, you're starting to doubt yourself. And, the fake news has finally worked its way into your brain, and you've succumbed to the inconvenient thing known as reality. And now, you're not just a tree-hugging, liberal. You are a full-on tree-fucking libtard, driving your Subaru Prius and complaining about the environment and, oceans rising and plastic waste and all sorts of stuff. But you've put all that aside because now you just look at this train wreck, this literal train wreck that's going on around you. And, TDS has gotten a hold of you, and there's nothing you can do. Well, that brings us to the last stage. What happens if you do catch TDS? Well, the last thing to happen would be to die. Hey, everyone's going to get through this just fine, right? We all have huge refrigerators in our McMansions, and, we all have months and months of savings saved up so that we can weather this storm, and we can all just avoid ourselves and social distance ourselves from everything. No problem, people living in cities with little refrigerators, have to still go out and, buy groceries and stuff. Yeah, they might catch the coronavirus thing a little bit more than someone else would, which means they may die in larger numbers. But what does that matter? They're not Trump voters anyway. Hell. Oh, and you got the TDS, and you think that maybe, the election's gonna get canceled? Ho, don't worry. There will still be an election, just that the only names on the ballot will be Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, and Don Trump. Still an election. Just die. More America for the rest of us. And what does that spell? COVID.
COVID 19.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either. That's the first I've ever heard of it. Because we are all in this together. And by all, I mean America, because, if India catches this, it's not going to come back and bite us in the ass, right? No. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them wear you down. Don't let them convince you that electing a reality show star to the highest office of the land was maybe a terrible idea. But hey, stick it to the liberals. Make those liberals cry their liberal tears as they watch their liberal friends in liberal caskets going into the liberal ground. Do not let them convince you that if we had just maybe taxed some billionaires a tiny bit more, we could all basically have health insurance that would cover us if like 10 million people lost their jobs. Hey, 10 million people, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. What, your bootstraps broke? Well, pick yourself up by your bootstrap straps. Don't let them chip away at your faith in our Lord Jesus Christ. And by the way, you need to buy yourself a MyPillow because God said so. Because, yeah, God and MyPillow. Keep that same attitude up, sticking it to the libs. You made your bed, now lie in the damn thing. Anyway, this has been my public service announcement. Stay in character, Tara. Stay in character. Keep it together. No, I can't stay in character anymore. A lot of us have spent a lot of time being very mad about stuff. And then people tell us that we shouldn't be mad about things. And I'm trying to see the good in everything. Try to see the good in everything, even Donald Trump, the more I see, the more I realize how out of touch he is with regular people. People live in their own bubbles, I mean, look at something like Tiger King to find out people who live in their own bubbles and play by their own rules. Take that to someone who's lived a life in, skyscrapers and, hotels and big money and stuff. They're not the kind of person who actually identifies with the rest of us. They don't know what it's like to struggle, and I know big business makes the world go around, makes the country go round. I understand all that stuff. But I do understand that it's gotten tougher for everyone to get by. And so that we end up in a crisis like this, and look how much things fall apart within about a month. And I'm trying to not fall apart about this. I'm kind of doing okay in this business. I think a lot of other people are not, though. I mean, the fact that, people going without pay for 2 weeks is basically caused such a disruption. It's like 40% of the people don't have, the money for an emergency. And that's something wrong there. Something very wrong about that. And something has to change. And I don't know. Stay inside. So stay safe. Take precautions. Let's keep this thing from spreading. We'll all have a little vacation. Sort of. Find something else to do. Work on your house, read a book. Everyone should have projects they want to do. I can't understand people who are not project oriented. And we'll see where we are in about a month or so. We're not going to be in a good place by Easter. But I was looking forward to things because this was going to be my year, for Christ's sake. And this is going to be the year where things finally happened. Anyway, so I will do more interesting stuff. I will do other stuff on my YouTube channel. Do silly stuff. I will do that. There may be little shows within shows. But I felt I had to get this off my chest. And yeah, take care of yourself. You can keep your family safe. You can keep your family safe. Oh, I got lipstick on it. Oh, that's not good. Oh, shit. Oh, so much for that. Fuck. It was green. It's got red on it.